HIKEY, hey girl. So listen, yes, we're going to talk about the viral conversation of navigating corporate America while being a melanin rich woman, black woman. Yeah, we there too. So the conversation was going around today and then a couple days back about corporate America and us melanin rich women, black women, navigating that particular space. And these feedback, catchword, viral word, feedback, everybody get a new word and run with it. um this conversation was a little odd for me because one, we go to work to do our job, and we do our job well. Corporate America is not necessarily an inviting environment because we are fighting up against preconceived notions about us anyway as black women. And then corporate America is like, uh, if you know kind of a job anyway. 75%, and I believe that number is higher, is on connections because we've all worked with somebody who don't know what they doing. You know what I mean? This is, and they always say DEI, and everybody's always saying, oh, it's nepotism, baby. That's how the world works, especially when you get to the creme de la creme, the high of the high, corporate America. Um, you kind of get ridiculed if you are a introvert, if you're going to work and you're quiet and you do your job, because one, it's not that we're introvert or extrovert. Scratch all that. Is that we know we're not safe. Black women, we know we're not safe. We're not safe anywhere, especially on a job that is predominantly clear, bleach city, white. We are not safe. That's just never been a space of safety for us. I don't believe that it ever will be. But we're having these conversations about feedback meetings, and you had a young lady say that, they, her boss asked her, oh, is something wrong with you, and it always has to be a problem with us because we're quiet. But remember, if we speak up, speak out, you know, we're not called passionate, driven. No, those are not the words that they associate with us. We get angry, aggressive, we get those kind of words, thrown at us. Corporate America is not necessarily a space where black women would feel comfortable speaking out because there are a few statistics. The only thing that separates us from them is opportunity. Word to Queen Viola Davis. Understand that once we get the opportunity, baby, we take over and we do the dang thing. We turn around companies. There are several Fortune 500 companies that have been turned around by a black woman, but you would never know because of the mediocre white man that they put in front of us to pretend like he did something and he did nothing. Ford, anybody? Hey, auntie, I know you over there. I ain't gonna say your name, but yeah. So there's a lot of black women in positions at these different companies that have helped turn these companies around. One that comes to mind quickly is definitely Miss Cynthia from formerly of AT&T. Newly, she was at the Mavericks, the NBA team. Yes, that Mavericks, Mark Cuban and them. Baby, that team was a raggedy mess. And Miss Cynthia went in there and turned it around and made sure that the team was sold for 3 times what it was worth. Y'all know it ain't worth nothing now that Luka gone, okay? So just know, like, she went in there and do what we always do. Black women are called upon to fix the world's problems and get blamed for the world's problems in the same breath. So when you're in these corporate, these corporate environments, it's not like it's easy for us to get in either. They did another study that showed where black women starting in the mailroom and you give them 5 to 7 years, a black woman will be 3 positions from the CEO of the company. She works her way up. Clever girl. You understand? We get in there and we do the damn thing. Just know, going back to Miss Cynthia, like she turned around a horrible situation with the Mavericks. They had all kind of, sexual harassment lawsuits. It was a good old boys club around here. And I'm talking about frat, type of situation. It was a mess. She got in there and cleaned everything up. And she turned that team around. The whole organization, the from top to bottom, she turned it around within a year. Actually, it was 7 months. Everybody down there in Dallas was talking about it, baby, because she fired some everybody. She got them up out of there, and she handled every single lawsuit that was thrown their way. Mark Cuban gave her props, and he knew that he was in trouble because he was going to be forced to sell the team. It was that bad. Go back and look at that situation. Um, just know Mark Cuban gave her props and was like, he knew that he needed a black woman because nobody could fix the situation that he was in but a black woman, you know, and he paid her worth. That's another thing. In corporate America, we are not paid what we are worth at all. These feedback meetings, you know, we really should be discussing, you know, our salary and you know how many jobs we are actually doing. There's another study that shows that black women at these corporate companies, we end up doing 5 to 7 jobs on top of the job that we were actually hired for. So we literally know if we're working in one department, the study showed that we know how the whole department works from top to bottom, and we are capable of doing each job and doing it efficiently and doing it better than everybody in the room. So we deal with that. We deal with the microaggressions from white women, and then we deal with the insecurities and, you know, the whiny of the white men, because they have all of the, you know, the attributes in the world. They have all of the space, the opportunities that we don't have, but we get there and it's harder for us to get there, and we do the job 100 times better than both of them, both of our counterparts, white men and white women. We supersede them in every area of intellect, every area of the workforce once we get in there. And it shows, it's several studies that you guys can go look up. It shows that in corporate America, we actually succeed and you know, we excel there because we are natural born leaders, and we lead in the right way too. We can teach people where they are, you know. These feedback meetings don't necessarily go great for us because if we're too quiet, they're looking at us like we're not sharing, oh, we're not friendly. All of these words, these preconceived notions, these stereotypes get thrown at us. And the same thing don't happen to the women who don't look like us. So I find it, you know, I found the conversation interesting because, you know, a bunch of us hairstylists was talking about it. And me, I always get a lot of questions because I am a chocolate girl that does amazing vanilla hair. Of course, I'm a beast. I'm a beast at our hair. Trust that. But I worked my way on the other side of the fence and do hair, and it has not been easy. And one day I'm going to do a video, you know, on camera and talk about all that because it was not easy at all. Just know DEI, we definitely earn it. We earn every position that we get in corporate America, and this is why we're able to turn companies around in less than a year. Salute to Miss Cynthia with them Dallas Mavericks. Just know you're doing the right thing going to work. Do your job. You ain't there to make friends like we all was taught. We know that that's not a safe space, and it's a stepping stone for us. And keep thriving and keep getting these promotions, ladies. Protect yourself. Everybody ain't your friend. We don't go to work to make friends. Y'all know what it is. I will see y'all on the next one. Thank y'all for the listen. Love y'all.